Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible, no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello, crypto friends. Hope you're doing well this fine Friday. We're going to be looking at the big three. We'll also check back in on BNB as Binance was in the news over the past couple of days. And first it was a rumor, but it just goes to show you that we can never tell who the correct source is. The fact that Binance had a dialogue open with the Japanese government, and then we see news leaked to a newspaper, and then it comes to Binance. Either way, they're moving on to greener pastures, and they are leaving. And it's almost essentially like they had this plan established and it was just an if-then scenario. If this happens, if we get a letter from the Japanese government, then we're bouncing, we're out of here and we're going somewhere else. And that's essentially what happened. And so taking protective measures to ensure, I'm sure there's a tax haven status where they're going and they're going to benefit that way. And obviously being able to continue operating, that's another benefit without government regulation. And again, we are going to see regulation in this space. And if we want this space to grow in terms of the cryptos growing, we're going to need that regulation. If we want blockchain technology itself to grow, that can happen certainly independently without the regulation on these exchanges. But as far as exchanges goes, it pretty much looks inevitable to me at this point. And just read now that the SEC is looking into some crypto hedge funds. So definitely a lot to be watching. But even if they have bearish reactions to the market initially, I don't think they are significant bearish news. Regulation, depending on the kind of regulation, if they say exchanges are outlawed and you can't have them, that's obviously one thing. But if they say, you need to be registered in this way and there need to be these protections in place, again, I personally don't feel it's that bad of a thing, but a lot of people do, and I certainly understand that. So checking in on Bitcoin, lower wicks, potential bull flag, a bull flag on the daily time frame. We see our bull move, which would be our flagpole. And then if we can draw some nice, healthy parallel channels of consolidation, which we certainly can at this point, that is a bull flag pattern. And we're watching now for the bulls to say, all right, we're done consolidating. And they gave a pretty strong signal, which we'll zoom in here on just a moment. But this is exactly what the bulls are looking for. A top out, bearish reversal doji, confirmation, further pullback, and now attempting a bullish reversal hammer. Depends on where we close. We still have about 4.5 hours left to go, 5 hours to go, but it's looking pretty good for the bulls. The 4-hour time frame does still have work to do. These exponential moving averages, remember the 12 and the 26 when we got our bull cross, that had us looking for follow through, and they haven't bear crossed yet. The bulls could save it here from a bear cross if we can recover and look for continuation back towards 9,000. On the 4-hour time frame, the lower high to break is 8,768. Anything below that level is going to be a lower high on the 4 hours. So we have to keep in mind that we have to break the 4-hour lower highs. We have already broken the hourly lower highs, and this is the bull saying we're done consolidation. And a couple things happened here. Number one, we saw a bear break and continuation to the downside. It confirmed the bear flag on the 4-hour time frame, and we didn't get anywhere with that. So something that you'll often see in charts is when you have a clear break in one direction, looking at a resistance level, and it doesn't follow through. That is a clear signal. When you're looking at inside bars, when that happens, it's called a reverse strategy. And there are people where if the break doesn't follow through, they will just instantly flip and play the opposing position because it shows a lack of conviction in the position or in the direction that the break occurred. And then we see a complete 180 turnaround. That's what happened here. We saw a clear bear break, no follow through, hourly inside bar, and then a bull break with significant follow through, breaking the lower highs. And so oftentimes, again, fake outs can be the signals for reversals. And just coming to my head right now, checking SPY, the S&P 500 today, this happened on the 5-minute time frame. So let's look at how that played out. We had a clear tightening equilibrium pattern, and this was to start the day. And we had a bull break that saw no follow through. So here was our double top essentially. Our tops were at 264.56 and 264.60. And then we broke it and then just turned around and completely pulled back. And you can see that rejection and fake out was the mark of the complete change in momentum, a new low of the day, and then an all-out dump on top of it. So just came to my mind, you'll see them everywhere. And again, this is why I continue to talk about branching out into other sectors, stocks, or whatever it is, because you can definitely learn lots of things all over the place. Just like I learned about short squeezes, which we saw in Ethereum, that allowed me to profit back when we had the G20 news, and that's from watching short squeezes in stocks over the years. So the consolidation that we're seeing right now, so let's say hourly lower highs broke. So when we break the hourly lower highs, we look for a higher low to form on healthy consolidation to reverse the trend. So the 15-minute time frame is seeing very healthy consolidation right now. The first support to be watching is the low of the pullback, 8,570. And then the next level after that, there's nothing really nearby here in the 8,500, 8,400 range. So we would have to be patient and wait for a new support level to be established if we break that first consolidation low. If we do not, it's going to show the bulls certainly have continued strength. And we did just get an hourly inside bar bull break, but not a lot of follow through. So have to be a bit cautious still. That 15-minute time frame giving it a really clear tight pattern to be watching, with the top of this move, again, 8,697 as the resistance to be watching. So overall, this move, let's look at it on the 15, and this volume, the volume is a little bit different on Binance, definitely worth noting, but the move in the volume says, okay, we're done pulling back and we're ready to start the bull's recovery. And this is the most convincing sign of our daily higher low that we've seen yet. And now we just need a little bit of follow through on that 4-hour time frame to gain a lot more confidence, but looking good for the bulls, especially again on the daily time frame with that nice lower wick after these 3 days. Ethereum doesn't look as nice on the daily time frame, but that's been the case for weeks after week after weeks, some weeks. So we're pulling back. We do have a lower wick, not as clear a bullish reversal candlestick. Support right now is 507.84. And if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we did lose a couple support levels. We had a double low at 516, and we did break that level. But if the bulls can turn it around here, that won't matter. We have the bull MACD cross on the 4-hour ready to go. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bull MACD on the 4-hour, definitely worth watching, because if we get that, that's going to be the scenario that we've been talking about, looking for the daily higher low and higher high. If we get the bull MACD on the daily and the 4-hour, and then we're going to be looking for that weekly chart to tighten that equilibrium up into the $10,000 range. So that's what the bulls are hoping to happen, and they need to see a bullish week, or a bullish weekend, I should see. Saturday and Sunday need follow through and need 4-hour higher lows and higher highs. So Ethereum, the 4-hour lower high that has to break is here at 543.87, and we certainly topped out well below that level at this current point. Let's look at the hourly. We did break the lower highs, not as convincing as Bitcoin did, but enough to break the downtrend and to have us looking for higher lows to begin to form now. So resistance 532 is the high of this move. 15-minute time frame, same thing. Low of consolidation, the first short-term support 523.83. So if I'm a day trader and I'm looking short-term, I'm exiting if this support level breaks, and I can look for a re-entry on a potential different level. If we see a bull break here of 528 and we break this little lower high, then that would mean stay in the position, again, if already in a position on this bull break. So it's also a pretty low risk. So let's go back to Bitcoin. It's pretty low risk. Let's say you wanted to enter Bitcoin right here and you're not sure how much we're going to consolidate further. If you enter here at 8632 and put a stop at 8569, you're risking, you're risking about $70 before getting stopped out. And that's just a scenario where I always like entries where my stop level is very clear in terms of support, because the risk is so small that, it's no big deal if I get stopped out, because I know the reward will be much more significant if the trade continues to follow through. Litecoin on the daily time frame looks a lot more like Bitcoin. Healthy, higher low, nice lower wick. Support is 157.06, and we are looking for that higher low on the daily. Bull MACD cross closing in. 4-hour bull MACD cross, keeping an eye on it, and still a lower high on the 4-hour, just like everybody else. That level is 164.75. We came pretty close here, 163.70, $1.05 away from that level. So definitely watching for the potential of a break of the 4-hour lower high. We're a little bit stronger in Litecoin, and the reason I say that is this 4-hour consolidation held this little higher low, and it did not on Bitcoin, and it did not on Ethereum. So a little bit stronger in my perspective, and also the fact that we're a lot closer to breaking that 4-hour lower high. So keep an eye on Litecoin into tomorrow, because if we do see some follow through on that daily time frame, we will be looking for the bulls to make their way back into the upper 170s, potentially 180s. If I were going to look at the weekly equilibrium on Litecoin, I would say a move to about 200 would put us roughly where Bitcoin might be at about 10,000, just visually right in the middle of its range. That's something to be keeping an eye on. So 15-minute consolidation on Litecoin. That low right now is down at 161.80. Resistance is the top of the move, 163.70, and then 164.75. And we're in that sideways channel that we're watching on these other names and looking for a short-term break sometime within the next hour and a half or so, I would say. So checking in, one last go over here on Bitcoin hourly time frame. We're back over the moving averages. We're looking for a bull cross of these exponential moving averages, and another leg up. Breaking the 4-hour lower highs would give the bulls some confidence heading into this weekend. BNB, BTC, nice bull break. So obviously not a whole lot of bad news here with Binance moving. And I believe it's Malta they're going to. Got to Google that one. That's a new one for me. So we're looking at the higher low on the daily time frame. Give us a nice white line. And we held support. We had a daily inside bar bull break. As soon as 10.54 broke, bulls were off to the races, and they haven't looked back since. They broke resistance at 11.57 and then the top of the move. So this daily chart, consolidation for month after month after month. We break the lower highs on one big bull day, and now we have a higher low and a higher high, so confirming the trend change. And again, the magnitude of the bounce, taking out the lower highs, has us anticipating the higher low to be established. And the only reason that we would shift that anticipation to not look for a higher low is if there were some increasing bear volume on that pullback, which there was not. 4-hour time frame getting a little extended. RSI above 70, but we look back historically and say the bulls can get over 80, so that doesn't necessarily mean we can't see continuation. But we have not consolidated in a while. The last consolidation was down here at 1129. And I look at this candlestick, I say, okay, that's forming a bearish reversal indecision candlestick. It's a spinning top with the wicks the same size, shows the bulls and the bears battling out. Any indecision favors counter the trend after a big bull move, because if there was clarity, the bulls would see a strong candlestick. But when I look at this on the 4-hour time frame, I say, okay, well, candlestick's only halfway formed. I want to see what the details look like. Has the hourly lost the higher low, higher high pattern? Is the hourly still forming higher lows, and this upper wick is just normal healthy consolidation? And when I look at the hourly, that's the answer. This is normal healthy consolidation at this point. We're trying to establish an hourly higher low after a very bullish 8 hours in a row. So that bearish reversal candlestick, it would mean completely different things to me. The same candlestick shape, looking on this hourly chart, like a potential bull flag is forming, or if we had already set a lower high and lower low and we're in the same positioning on this 4-hour chart, those two scenarios significantly shift the percentage chance that this reversal candlestick would get confirmed with further pullback. So again, that's where the details of looking at the shorter term time frame come in handy, because you can have the candlestick look the exact same with two completely different scenarios depending on the short term details. So the support right now down at the low, 12,228, that's the ideal level to hold. Let's look at it on the 15. So a base of support being established here, and if that level breaks, we're going to be looking down at 1202 and 1184. So bull's still holding on. There's also the potential of a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, with our neckline very clearly at 12,228. So that's where we stand heading into tonight. Good sign for the bulls that they saw this strong follow through. Now it's all about the 4-hour time frame. Got to break those lower highs to increase that confidence in the bulls overall. So I appreciate you watching. Looking forward to the weekend and going to be working on that crypto update course as well. Certainly slow going, as I have to wait till the weekends before I can have time to work on it, but plugging away, and it should be done in a few weeks. So I appreciate you guys all watching. Don't forget to do good things out there. Let's see, today's good thing. If you have friends that have businesses and then you can do things for them with other friends. I have a friend who's going through a tough time, so got them a massage from my other friend who is a massage therapist. So I can pay one friend to give a service to another friend and get 2 birds stoned at once. So if you have that opportunity, definitely try and get creative with things and see how you can, benefit 2 people at once. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow.